Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Ascension Board of Adjustment is called to order. My name is James Cecil, Chairman. At this time, roll call of our members. Mr. Howard Dalton.
Here.
Mr. Brad Walker.
Here.
Mr. David LeBlanc.
Here.
Mr. Kathy Desadier.
Here.
Mr. Bryce Cox.
Here.
Mr. Alvin Madera is absent tonight to fill the rest of the board members. He will be back shortly, but he will not be here tonight. At this time, I'm going to go to public comment period. On the public comment period, if you're here to speak about a variance tonight, I suggest that you wait until that variance is called on the agenda. Right now, if anybody needs a copy of the agenda, we do have some right back here at this podium. I suggest if you don't know where you stand on the agenda, I suggest you get it. And like I said, at this time, is there anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of or against us being here? Actually, this is your time to help us become better proficient in Ascension Parish. This is your opportunity to say what you think needs to be done in Ascension Parish, and it's also your time to say what a bad job we're doing. We got one. Come up and state your name, please, sir.
I didn't actually come here for that, but since you gave me the opportunity, I'd be more than happy to take it.
Yeah.
On Weber City Road in the corner of Roddy, which is commonly called the Gonzales Dump Trailer Park, well, why can't we make these people put either a fence around their place or do something to clean up that nastiness around here? We make people on the airline put fences up on the airline down here where the guy sells aluminum. We made him put a fence up, and yet this place is ungodly, and nobody seems to care.
Well, sir, I'm going to kind of redirect you there. Okay, there's plenty of people who care. The question is there attention brought to it? Okay, you as a citizen have the responsibility to bring that attention because you have that right. And there is people that you can approach. You can approach your councilman, okay, for one, and also you can go to planning and zoning, and you can also approach DBW.
All right.
So,
good. You
have three alternate places that you can go.
Well, I guess what I was saying is, most of you guys have been here all your lives. I've been here 15 years on Weber City Road, and it's got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse. It seems like somebody around here who's in charge would see that and do something without, on their own.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. If no one complains, nothing gets done.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Well,
and that's what you need to do.
Okay.
You need to file a complaint.
Then.
And that's great.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Anybody else at this time would like to make a public comment? No one? Okay, the chairman is. This is my time to speak. First of all, there's a lot of individuals in here in Ascension Parish that doesn't get recognized for the job that they do. Each one of these board members up here are doing this for free. They do not get paid. And I congratulate each one of them for volunteering. Also, Mr. O'Neill Perriton down here is our legal advisor. He's doing an outstanding job. He works long hours, and believe me, I appreciate it because he does help this board out. Miss June DeLong, who probably is at her wit's end 95% of the time because she handles all of our board, or pretty much all of the boards, and she does a great job. And Miss June, I personally want to publicly thank you for a fine job that you've done. The person that is not here tonight, Mr. Lance Brock, he's done a heck of a job for this board. He's done a fabulous job in Ascension Parish, and I commend him also on his performance. Now, I'm sure I speak for this board. I think everybody on this board recognizes the fact that these three individuals are outstanding. We go way beyond the Call of Duty, believe me. So that's the reason. This is the only chance I usually get to say anything, and I just want to recognize those people publicly. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill. All right, we'd like to move on with the agenda, acceptance of the minutes for February the 27th, the 2006 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
You didn't get your chance, Brad.
I know. Slow tonight. Excuse me, man.
Okay, we have a motion to accept and a second. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries. Acceptance of the written decision for February 27th, the 2006 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any opposition? No opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm speaking with a broke rib tonight, so if I really slur it up, beg your pardon. Moving on with the agenda tonight. First on the agenda is 1679.07, lot 13 for Temple subdivision for David Mears, located on the corner of Highway 431 and Ardago Road. Anyone here for that? Please sign in. There's a sign-in sheet right here. Please sign in and approach the podium and state your name, please.
My name is David Murchie. I own a piece of property on the corner, as he stated, on the corner of Highway 431 and Ardago Road. The front of the property faces Highway 431, which is to the east. I have a house there that is a rent house that I have a tenant that rents it. The back portion of that property, I want to put a metal building for storage, motorhome, boats, vehicles, tools, and stuff like that. And I want to locate the building in the southwest corner of the property as far back as possible. The building's not going to have any windows or any doors facing to the south or to the west. And I would like to reduce that setback to the servitude corner, so I can have more entrance to get in and out on the Ardago Road side.
Thank you, sir. Any of the board members have any questions for this gentleman?
Yes, Mr. Murchie, will the shed be on a slab, cement slab?
Yes.
Or on piers?
No, it's going to be on a cement slab, and it's going to be built at the flood elevation. I already have shot the flood elevation.
Okay.
I'm going to build it up with dirt, slope it toward the road, and I've already got a culvert permit to put in culverts. I just want to be able to build it in the corner of the property as far as I can.
Are there drainage ditches on the south or the west side?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no drainage ditches. I have neighbors on both sides. There's a storage building to the south, and there's no house that's close. To the west, the house is a pretty good ways away, and none of the neighbors has a problem with it. I don't think any of them's represented here tonight.
One thing I have, I notice on your application or in the height variance, it's shown as a minor detail, but it's important. And on your application, you've got 7.5 foot, which is in tenths of a foot, which is in standard surveyor's parlance. On the thing typed up by staff, it's 7 foot 6 inches. They both say the same thing, but it's important to understand the difference. The other thing is, you understand that your roof line cannot extend into the servitude.
Yes, sir.
Which means
And I will probably build like 8 foot or 9 foot just to be on the safe side. And I'm just trying to get away from that 25 foot, mainly in the back.
But I just want you to understand that your roof cannot intrude into the servitude. If you hung a plumb line down, it must be clear of the servitude.
That'll be fine.
I have no further questions.
Let's open up public comment.
So moved.
Second.
Public comment period is now open. Anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of or against this gentleman's request? Close public hearing, please.
So moved.
Second.
Public hearing is now closed. Any final questions or discussions by this board? Do we have a motion?
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the variance as written with the 7 feet 6 inches because on the application, it does say 7.5 inches on the rear setback, so just want to make sure that we're totally clear on that. So I'd make a motion that we approve it for the 7 feet 6 inches as stated on the front.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion on the floor by Mr. Bryce Cox and seconded by Mr. Dalton. Any opposition?
I just want to clarify something. We need to make it clear. I think if you look at what Lance said, what he's doing, he's getting a variance 12 feet 6 inches in the rear and 2 feet 6 inches on the side.
Right.
20 foot.
Right.
So that's what the variance should be.
That's
Right.
what it should be stated.
Correct.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Your variance is approved, sir.
Thank you.
Second on the agenda tonight is 1680.07, Lot 2DA, D1DA, and D1DB for Garner Gotro and Stephen Melder. Sorry.
Motion to open public hearing?
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anyone here? Come on and sign in, sir, and approach the podium.
No, I don't. Got any aspirin, anybody?
Thank you. My name is Gorney Gotro, Steve Melder, and I here, we have 2 lots, and we're trying to make a lot between the 2 of them. It's 160 feet long, 160 point something, but the setbacks and all only leaves about 30 feet in the middle of the lot. And we're asking for a variance.
Mr. Garney, Gotro, this is the property located on Privacy Lane?
Yes, sir.
East side of Privacy Lane, 200
sir.
feet west of LA 44?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I should have read that, but I was
That's all right.
kind of hurting at the same time. Apologize for that. Any questions by this board? Or at this time? If not, public hearing is already open. I'm going to go ahead and move it to public hearing.
So moved.
Anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of or against this gentleman's request? All right, close public hearing, please.
So moved.
Second.
Public hearing is now closed.
I'd like to ask Mr. Gotro something.
By all means, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance. Go ahead.
So we're looking at the 2 lots, the D1, DB, and then the D2A. Am I correct? Not the one in the middle, not the
The one in the middle is the
D1DA?
one that's being created.
Excuse me?
The one in the middle is the one that's being created.
Bryce, if you look at the dotted lines, you're going to see in very faint letters that there was originally 2 lots with, if you look right at the third lot in the middle, you're going to see D1DA. You'll see the original lot line down the middle.
Right.
And what they've done is they're taking 2 lots and making 3.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
And he-
What I'm trying to figure out is, okay, on lot D2A, the one all the way on the right, the one that already has the wood frame residence and wood fence and carport and all that already on it, why exactly do you need to reduce the front setback on it?
This, the first lot, we have no problem with it. It's the second lot, there's nothing on it.
So the one with the house and all that, you don't
No,
need a variance on that? So you just included all of it?
Yes.
If you look at the 2 maps, one of them shows it with the 55-foot, one shows it with the 44. The 55 goes through the home. This clears the home in case they would ever want to sell
Okay.
it. They won't have to
And
come
it's
back
been
for
there
another
Thank you, Ms.
round.
June. I didn't see that because I do see that now where 55 would, so instead of having to come back. Okay, I'm clear on
And it's been there a long time.
it. That's good enough. Thank you.
How are the lines being drawn through the existing mobile home? So let's go put an existing mobile home on 2 pieces of property.
That's all mine.
Okay.
It's my children.
Okay. I mean, it has nothing to do with the front, but I was just wondering.
Any other further questions? Discussion. Motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that this be approved as written. It's harmonious. It's not going to conflict. It's going to allow good use of the land. And the way the building setback lines are tied to the center of the road, which moves, this gentleman should be entitled to the fullest use of his land.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Brad? Okay, we have a motion on the floor from Mr. Howard Dalton and second by Brad. Any opposition? No opposition? There's so for the motion carries. Variance is granted, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, don't do that again.
Use your right hand.
Next on the agenda tonight is 1681.07 for Jack and Sybil Hunt. It's located on the north side of Weber City Road. That's Highway 429, approximately 85 feet west of Trish Road. Anybody here? Y'all hear me call your property out. You can kind of just move on up, kind of expedite things a little bit quicker. You're civil?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
The reason that we're here is because my son is wanting to put a trailer on our property, and we don't have exactly an acre of land, and so they wanted us to come in here and see if we could do it.
Now, I'm going to ask the question. Your son is going to be the only resident on that property?
Yes, sir. Him and his girlfriend.
He's the primary resident. So. Good. Any questions?
I have a question. And I guess I want to throw this one over to Howard here real quick, since you were talking about the measurements and how you knew exactly what they meant. But on the front sheet, it says that it's a half-acre tract of property. Am I correct? .52 would be a half acre? And then on-
.52 would be slightly larger than slightly larger than a half acre.
Okay, and then if you look on the application, it says, according to their statement, we are only a few feet shy of an acre. Well, a half an acre is a lot more than a few feet. So I just want to know exactly how big of a piece of property we are dealing with here.
I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know. I didn't.
No,
make
I
the
mean,
application.
I'm just saying, that piece I wouldn't throw it at you, Howard.
It's .52.
Okay, so we are talking about, I just want to make sure we're clear, we're talking about a half acre here, not an acre.
Well, a little bit more than that.
Okay.
Well, now I need to clear this up because the application says of an acre. It doesn't say of a half acre.
Right.
He's got a good point.
This is rural. This property is zoned rural also.
Excuse me?
It's zoned rural.
Zoned rural.
Which allows for 2 per acre.
2 per acre.
Ma'am, do you have a 1 acre or a half acre of land, roughly? Or do you know?
They said it was almost an acre.
Who said that?
On my,
Well, Miss June, you typed this up, or somebody typed it up in your office.
I typed it, I didn't write it.
I understand.
Where would those measurements have come from, Ms. June?
Lance probably got them out the computer.
Out for what?
Out the computer.
Out of the computer? Okay. What's on record with the parish or whatever, for tax purposes and stuff?
this is the cash sale of the property, if y'all want to look at it.
Is that a,
Property would have the dimensions.
Probably gets a description by fee.
excuse me, is that a legal description of the property?
Yes.
Could we see it,
Could we
please?
see it, please, real quick? Give it to him. He can reach.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Certain parcel of ground rescission is a parish, section 27, township 9, range 3, east, southeast district, Louisiana, being a portion of lot 3 on the plan of survey made by so-and-so, survey dated March 6, 1926, recorded in folio 65, or COB 65, folio 746. More particularly describes a point 53 feet from the southeast corner of the property acquired by Alvin Tracy from Percy J. Gautreaux, 11 August 1966, by deed recorded in COB 194, folio 401, of the Ascension Parish, then measures easterly direction along the north side of Highway 942, a distance of 120 feet, then 120 feet east, then south, a distance of 190 feet, to the point of the beginning, together with all buildings and improvements belonging thereto. I'm not exactly certain, Mr. Chairman. That sounds like almost an acre to me.
It's pretty close.
Pretty close.
It's pretty close to an acre.
So her terminology then of just shy of an acre would be correct.
Yes,
No, unless there's something somewhere that shows a sell-off.
If you go by the feet, that was
That's 120 by 190.
120. Yeah, 121 by 190.
That's close to an acre.
That's a half acre.
That's a half acre?
Sure.
Okay, then Lance is right.
Okay. I just want to make sure which one of these was correct before we
Understand.
proceeded.
You ma'am.
Thank you, Howard.
Sorry. Any other further questions?
How far off of Weber City Road is your existing mobile home? How many feet?
It's pretty far off. I don't know how much
kinda
footage
get
it is. Let's see, I have a...
On your back picture? Is it okay? That's what. Yeah.
Picture, that's what I'm asking.
Are you going to put the new trailer behind your existing trailer, or as viewed from Weber City Road, you can put it to the right of it?
Can I show you that?
Sure.
Then we had this going that water place.
Here, let me get
Well, and I will pass this down to everybody. District. So, actually, it's going to be towards Weber City Road, the new trailer that she's requesting. It says existing mobile home.
That's ours.
Okay, you're the existing. So,
be perpendicular to it.
right. $120 by 84. Second verification.
Yeah.
Second verification on that is 120 by 184.
Okay.
No, that would be about 0.52.
Yeah, 5.2.
Yeah, what they're going to do, they're going to put it right here. Okay,
5.2.
that's where they're going to put
Which
it.
is exactly what Lane said.
Right.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what he said on front. All right. I'm going to open up public hearing.
I'll move we open up the public hearing.
Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of or against this
Right.
lady's request? Please come up, sign in, sir, and then approach the podium and state your name. Where's your sheet at? Oh, you passed it down.
Yeah, it went that way.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Let him stand at the podium, please, ma'am. Speak into the microphone. Yes, by all means, bring him up, please. You can pass it to the young lady here, and then let it move down. And go ahead and state, sir, your...
My name is Edward Pochette. I live about 2 houses down from this lady. And 120 by 190 is nowhere close to an acre of land.
You live 2 houses down?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead,
If you look
sir.
at these pictures, the reason why I'm here, number one, the property already is very, very unmaintained. The yard is filthy, to say the least.
Oh,
There's
sir.
3 or 4 to 10 cars in the driveway at all times. And another trailer is something we just can't afford. I got property there, and my property value go down like a rock.
Is that it, sir?
No, that's part of it.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
If the variance is that wide on this property where they allow them to put a trailer, what's stopping the next person from saying, well, mine's almost an acre and a half, or whatever, and we'll have a trailer here and a trailer there and a trailer everywhere. And the purpose of this is it's not, we don't want any more trailers there. If this trailer was halfway maintained and the yard was half maintained, it wouldn't be. There's 4 to 5, 6, 7 cars there parked all the time.
That's because we don't have vehicles.
Ma'am, no. I'm not going to tolerate that. He's got the right to say what he wants to say, okay?
I mean, I have nothing against the people.
Just like you do, but no confrontation.
Anyway, that's the sum of it. If we all have property, I got a house like $300,000 home. I don't want that next door to me, and I have to tolerate it because it was there before I got there. But putting something else there, it's just going to make it double because there's no maintenance there, period. The ditches, which is not their property, that's never cut. We can't get the state out to do anything about it, but people just don't care how the property looks. It's just an eyesore.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else in the audience like to speak in favor of or against this lady's request? Close public hearing.
So moved.
Public hearing is now closed. Any further questions by this board or any comments? Or
Well, I mean, my only problem is that a lack of information about the size as far as this mobile home and then the distance off Weber City Road, because Weber City Road's already a pretty hectic road. And I don't know how close the secondary residence would end up. I mean, I'm just not seeing the math in all of this, I guess. And that's my questions as far as the distance off the highway and it being able to be put on this lot safely.
That's the only question I had also, was just the distance between the two trailers together, as there's still distance regulations as a house. I mean, when you put two houses, together, you got firewalls and things like that, but how close are these houses? There's not really a measurement on that map that you had as far as measurements, distance between the trailers and how close they are to the road and that type of stuff.
I have a question. Ma'am, are there any unique circumstances here in the way of hardship? Are you disabled? Is your son disabled?
No, sir. The only thing is that my son had already went and bought the trailer and everything, a brand new trailer, and he put $1,000 down on it, and after he bought it, then we found out that we may have to rezone it and everything.
I understand that,
it's
but
cost us
you'll
a lot of
understand
money.
that's a self-induced hardship.
It cost us a lot of money to clear out the spot and everything for him to put it there.
I understand your point. I understand your point.
any other further questions by this board? No further questions, no discussions. Do we have a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that this variance be denied because it appears it would be detrimental to the surrounding neighbor. There's no unique circumstances such as hardship or infirmity, which our parish council has, by previous recommendation, asked us to consider that for people that had unique circumstances. And it's a small piece of land, so therefore it is my motion that this be denied as written.
I second.
Okay, Mr. Howard Dalton's got a motion on the floor, and Mr. Bryce Cox has seconded. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries. Variance is denied, ma'am.
Ma'am, here's your papers.
Next on the agenda is 1683.07, Lot 2A.
I'm sorry?
Lot 2A for Eric, what is it?
I can't pronounce that.
Burlett. Located on the south side of Highway 621, approximately 100 feet east of Marshall Bourgeois Road. Go ahead, sir. State your name.
My name is Eric Pertelt.
Sorry we messed your name up.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, sir.
We're here requesting a variance on my property, hopefully to allow my son and daughter-in-law to put a mobile home on my property behind my house.
Okay. Any questions by this board? Okay. Let's move. Go ahead.
Well,
Mr. Cox?
This is really, a minor thing. It says, is this your son or your stepson?
My stepson, yes.
Stepson, okay.
Does your stepson have any infirmity, or you or your wife? He's not there to render care or aid?
Any further questions? If not, let's go to the public hearing, please.
So moved. Second.
Public hearing is now open. Anybody like to speak in favor of or against this gentleman's request? Close public hearing, please.
So moved.
Public hearing is now closed. Any further questions by this board? Ms. Desideer?
Well, once again, the street, and where were you planning on putting this next mobile home? This mobile home on this
Directly
property?
behind mine on my property.
Directly behind yours?
Yes, ma'am.
And your property's 92.40 wide?
It would be running.
And what's the size of this mobile home?
They haven't purchased it yet.
It would be running the same way, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir. The lot is a rectangular, narrow shape.
So it would be like the two
Okay.
trailers are butted end to end?
Well,
Like,
sort of, yeah.
Kind of,
Yeah.
sort of. Okay. So there's more room that way, Kathy?
Well, I'm looking at that, but...
Can you come draw us where you place the trailer on here? That's the lot we have, I think. Okay.
So that's
Brad, can you see that?
Just hold it up back.
Go ahead and put it between us.
Okay.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Right.
Well, if my math is right, from the back of his house, the back of his property line, he's got about 130 feet from the back edge of his house to his rear property line.
Right.
About 25 foot off the back property line.
Say that again?
Well, it'd be about 20, it's 51 feet difference if it's an 80-foot length. And there apparently is already a storage porch back there. And the little square that's kind of back there where you would be putting a mobile home?
That's no longer there.
Oh, okay.
What was it, sir? A shed?
I really don't know.
Okay.
So that's a big deck on there.
It's all right. It no longer exists. It's a moot point.
Well, this residence would utilize the same driveway as you currently utilize?
Yes, sir. It's all family land. The same driveway goes to my mom's, and my brother lives in back, and my sister lives back there. It's all, we all use the same driveway.
Lot A3 utilizes the same driveway as you?
Yeah, see,
Yes, sir.
center line of gravel drive. That's what I was trying to figure out, how you'd even get.
It's an RM, by the way. It's medium intensity.
They must use this for other services.
See the servitude of passage down the, where's the north arrow on this thing? Is there one?
No. There's not a north arrow.
I don't know.
It's medium
My
intent.
calculations are coming up. It's going to barely fit in there.
Wanders off the servitude.
I understand. It would be off the servitude, but I mean, it would, let's just say we put it right on the servitude, there would only be a couple of feet between the trailer and that storage shed.
Well, the house is 61.2 feet off the setback line on, I'm going to call it the north end, or orienting
Right.
the paper this way.
Correct.
And the house is 76.4 foot long, so that comes up to 137.6 feet, so that should leave them,
And then you got 24-foot storage shed.
It comes up to what, 130?
Yeah, but
yeah, but that's
you
just
can still go in
offset.
front of the storage
That's
shed.
that's set way to the
back.
back side of the
Not the
property.
scale.
Okay.
It's not necessarily in the right spot, but my point is, there's room for an 80-foot long trailer there.
All right.
I think Ms. Desideer explained that it's going to be close, but it would fit in and not encroach on the servitude. Any further questions or discussions?
Now, isn't this a higher density zone? Medium intensity versus rural?
This is medium intensity.
Maybe RM.
How many per acre? Same thing,
Per
too?
acre.
How many?
3.
3 per acre?
They would need .66 acre to put 2 residences on it, so you've got a variance of about a tenth of an acre.
That's a lot better than the last one.
I'm going to make a motion.
If there's no further discussion by any other board members, we got Ms. Desideer would like to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve this as written with the stipulation that if your stepson decides to move out of the residence for any reason, that it be removed.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion to approve as written by Ms. Kathy Desideer.
Before we vote,
We got a motion and a second.
Okay, so I can't discuss it.
No.
Okay.
We got a motion.
Stipulation.
Huh?
There was a
It
stipulation.
had to do with the stipulation as well.
Okay, stipulation was when the, but you put as
You put
written.
if the stepson moved out,
That's not
What-
as written.
but, I mean, would you want to say that as long as a non-family member, I mean, as long as there's a family member there, in case the stepson moved out and immediately a daughter moved in? I mean, I don't know.
Do you have a daughter?
Yes, I do.
So you're just closing the door on it totally. So what I'd like to,
Okay.
Kathy, with your permission, I'll make a substitute motion that we approve the variance with the stipulation that should the stepson move out and not an immediate family member move in, that it be removed.
I'll say.
I'll say.
Ms. Desideer, well, Mr. Bryce Cox has made the motion with the amendments, and then, of course, Ms. Desideer seconded. Any opposition to this? No opposition? Motion carries. Your variance is granted, sir, only with that stipulation. Okay?
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is 1686. If you notice on your agenda, it may say 1684. It's actually 1686.07, Lot Y1B of Ashland Industrial Park. That's located on the east side of Ashland Road, approximately 300 feet south of LA Highway 30. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Good evening. Chris Phelps with Land Source Incorporated. I'm here on behalf of our client.
I'm sorry, who?
Land Source Incorporated. I'm here on behalf of our client. We're requesting a variance of the minimum 100 foot to be reduced to 50 foot for a private drive.
Any questions from the board?
Did I hear you say private drive?
Yes, sir.
So we could call that a servitude of passage or an entrance?
Entrance, right.
No,
Back to
what
the
he's
warehouse.
doing is creating a lot, 50-foot frontage lot. That's what's being done.
Yeah, but it's tied to lot Y1B, which is a very large lot.
Right. So that's what he's reducing the frontage. That's what.
Any other further questions? Brad? Mr. Brad?
So really, they're trying to split the lot. You got lot Y1A and Y1B, and lot Y1B doesn't have enough frontage, and so in order for them to split it this way, they need the frontage.
No, he only needs 50 foot for the driveway, and then he'll take the remaining lot of Y1A and sell it off later. That's commercial. They just need 50 foot to get to the back.
What's going on lot Y1B?
Right now, if I'm right, it's permitted. It's under construction as a warehouse.
50 foot's gonna be enough for like 18-wheeler access back there and everything.
I believe believe so. He's done it before in Baton Rouge.
Okay, let's see what he's doing.
I have a question, Lee.
Go ahead. Now's time to
Mr.
ask
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I see what they're trying to do. They're going to have that a driveway going back to the back of Lot Y1. I assume you have our same package we do?
I do.
So, to grant this variance, which a driveway is a fairly innocuous use, but that frontage there for Y1B on Ashland Road, in what manner, what would we have to do to restrict that 50-foot width to specifically a driveway/entrance? Or can we?
I guess you could make that a condition, it only to be used as a driveway.
That's what you use it for, you ain't gonna be able to get to the back lot, back lot doesn't have any other access to it.
I didn't know what you'd be able to build on it.
I'm just trying to think ahead here for the question of what.
Does that lot Y1B have Highway 30 access?
No. The only frontage is on Ashland Road.
Because the site map that looks like kind of could look like it does. So that's all I was just wondering.
So how wide is 1/8? Y1/8?
164.44.
Proposed to be that wide.
Right.
So if he reduced that some, he could fall within the minimum of the 100 foot. He could divide part of that, move that line over a little bit.
Then you're only left with 64 feet.
Yeah.
No, you would have one that would be
No,
one,
they could
you'd have
meet the 100-foot requirement.
114.44 and 100.
Yeah, you'd have a 100 foot and a 114. So I don't understand.
Oh, it's clear they're trying to sell off the maximum amount of land on Ashland Road for the greatest commercial value and have a driveway to Y1B.
And I understand that, that's not a problem, but if to put a warehouse back on 1B and only have that 50 foot, I agree with you, if you're bringing 18-wheelers in and turning
Well,
off that
that'll fit.
road, and you could open up yourself for problems there.
Now when you gotta have source and servitude and all that for power and everything else to get like there, where's the other servitude to come down there? I'm assuming
That's
that
true.
you have to come down that road. You're not gonna cut through that lot.
The only servitude you have are way over on the, what is that, the east side?
Yeah, there's 15 foot.
Yeah, that's the east side there by the pond.
All right, I'm going to give you a chance to further to have this discussion. Let's go ahead and open up the public hearing.
So moved.
Public hearing is now open. Anybody like to speak in favor of or against this gentleman's request? Okay, now we got this out of the way. Go ahead and close public hearing.
Second.
Public hearing is now closed. Go ahead and Mr. Brad, you were saying what now on the? You're against the restricting of that driveway?
I mean, I think there's a better alternative. I don't think it's a hardship for sure on them trying to do this.
By restricting?
Well, I mean, one, you're restricting yourself to 50 feet here when you're going to have to do servitude and a driveway and everything to get back to the back. And I just feel bigger trucks that come down there, they're going to be stuck or getting into whoever or whatever is on lot Y1A.
Whatever it turns into.
And then what kind of variances are we going to have to do for lot Y1A because it's getting a little smaller. And nobody wants to put something on that small of a lot.
Well, Y1A meets the minimum frontage. It's 164, and the minimum frontage is 100 feet. So it meets that requirement. I don't see Y1A as being a problem. I'm just concerned about that 50-foot Y1B on Ashland Road.
I mean, I'd be happier with like around 75, something like that.
Correct.
I'd compromise. I wouldn't go the 100, but I'd go at least 75.
Yeah.
No, and I agree, and I agree, and Brad, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Lot Y1A, if you cut it all the way down to 100 feet or 114 feet, then it's going to start getting small to put something on. But I think I agree with you. A good compromise might be 75 feet. But the way this is written, I mean, it's written for the 50 feet, and that's what I'm looking at. And
Again,
I just think it's a better alternative.
In this discussion, you understand that you have to accept, is this acceptable for you?
Would 75 feet be acceptable?
Got to make a call real quick and find out.
I don't have a problem with you making the call. I'll tell you what, we'll move this to the end of the agenda.
Okay.
Because if you have to make the call to talk to your, make it quick though.
Yes.
But I want you to go outside the door and make that call.
And it's 75 feet, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of 50,
Would he
75.
accept 75
Okay.
feet instead of the 50?
I'll check on it.
All right.
Motion to move to the end of the meeting.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda is 1666.07 for Darrell G. May. Let me explain to this board. He did not receive notification last month. He has received notification this month. It's been verified.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd also like to comment that the application last month, he was looking for commercial use, asking for a 1,000-foot variance to bring it up to 2,500. This application has since been modified, which is currently appropriate, but...
No, Howard. This is what he was asking for last month.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Then I've been misinformed.
Now, you may be thinking about the
No.
last one that was on Highway 74 last year.
Wait, Bryce. Last month, he was asking for 7,000, or he was asking for 4,500, whatever.
Okay.
He upped it to 20,000.
Okay, so it was, but it was more than what you thought.
But it's a much larger variance
Right.
now. So.
No, I agree.
I have a small question, but wouldn't this have been under old business?
Yes, but that's fine.
Okay.
Do we have anybody in here? Darrell G. May is here. Again?
Do we have a notice of receipt for
Yes,
this?
we do have a notice. He was notified. He has received 2 notices, in fact. Ms. June has informed me that he got one by registered mail and the second by regular mail.
Well, if it's changed, he's had the notice to be able to change it.
Yes.
Chairman, could we
Then this
have
is probably out of order, but I'll make a motion, we deny the variance for people, for the lack of them showing up to explain it.
I'd like to comment to that if I could, please.
Go ahead.
Also, this is a huge variance, which would in effect be spot zoning.
Right.
So in that this gentleman has had ample notification, and in view of the size of this variance being requested, I'd like to strongly second Mr. Cox's motion to deny.
Mr. Parrington, before we totally act on that,
Yes.
do we have to open up a public hearing? Or can we go ahead and act on it?
Why don't you open the public hearing and see if anyone's here to speak against it?
Yeah,
I know there
last
is.
time, I agree. Anybody like to speak in favor of or against this request? Seeing how I can't tell who's here, please sign in, state your name.
And some of them came last month.
Yeah.
They're back.
We had-
Sorry, I wasn't trying to circumvent y'all getting your day in court, or your word out there. But I have a huge problem.
But the motions are still on the floor.
Okay.
Good evening, members of the board. My name's Tim Guidry. I'm a resident of Longwood. In fact, my property backs up to this particular piece of land, but I'm here on behalf of most of the residents of the subdivision, many of whom were here last month when we visited this matter the first time. To my knowledge, at the initial appeal to get the variance, it was $7,000, which was brought up here earlier tonight. $20,000 is ridiculous for obvious reasons. First and foremost, being traffic. I don't know how familiar you all are with a piece of property, but anything that's built is going to have to be justified to the rear of the property, which of course means that it puts it close to the subdivision. And we really haven't heard what was proposed or is going to be built there, but I've heard some rumors of a small strip shopping mall. And for obvious reasons,
Well,
with
we
that,
hadn't heard neither.
well, it's a rumor at this point, but if it did indeed turn into a shopping mall or a strip mall or whatever the case would be, of course, all of the noise from freight trucks and traffic and everything that goes along with that certainly is going to be taxing on the residents who live at the front of our subdivision, and I guess that would be comprised of about 6 or so houses, which would back up to this piece of property. Of course, everyone in the neighborhood would be affected by this because you're going to have, again, increased traffic, possible obstruction of your view from the cars that are coming and going and whatever it is that's going to be put there. So, again, on behalf of the residents of the subdivision, I strongly oppose this, and I would urge the board to please deny
Where do you live, sir?
I'm on 15094 Bluffwood Circle. And as you go into Longwood, we're the first street on the right. So the strip of houses that I'm referring to is going to back up almost proportionately to this piece of land. So my house actually falls right in the center, if you're looking for a mental picture, in the center of his piece of property, backing up to it.
I see. Is that it, sir?
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to speak in favor of or against the request? Have you signed in, sir?
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Damon Gonzalez, and I am also a resident of Longwood subdivision and am strongly opposed to the variance to the zoning. Currently, right now, the traffic situation on Highway 73, I'm sure all of you are aware of it. The Longwood subdivision is, depending on which direction you're headed, close to a curve in Highway 73, and I agree with this gentleman that not only would it be a traffic nightmare, but it could be a hazard as well.
And you live where?
37090 Longwood Avenue.
Okay.
So my property doesn't back up to...
Right.
But...
Is that it, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please state your name.
You know I can't,
I'm kidding.
but
I'm kidding. I know who.
Ozzy was going to take care of that for me.
There you go.
Sorry about my voice.
No,
Couldn't read
that's
this.
fine.
I think he's coming to adjust it.
You could offer that in. Yes, could offer that in.
There's many people back here also. I didn't see any plans to do this. So please, please, deny it. Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Anybody else like to speak in favor of or against the request?
Against.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Kevin Bynum. I'm a resident of Longwood. I'm actually the first house on the right when you come in, so I directly back up to Lot 81. And I want to speak against it for a question of quality of life, being not knowing what's going there, operational hours of what would be put in, street lights, noise, different concerns of that aspect, property value. So
you do back up to it.
Yeah, I'm directly on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Close public hearing, please.
Second.
Public hearing not closed.
Do I need to restate my motion now? Or
No, the motion's already out. I mean,
to deny for lack of information.
Lack of information and
representation by the committee, whatever you want to call it. I forget.
And it was seconded by Howard Dalton. So, okay, we got a motion on the floor by Mr. Bryce Cox. We also seconded by Mr. Howard Dalton. Any opposition to this? No opposition. Motion carries. Variance is denied.
I'd like to say thank you to everybody that had to come back this month. I appreciate it. We do need voices to help us, guide us sometimes. May not go the way we want all the time, but thank y'all for coming back again this month.
There's one here we don't have a packet for.
Next on the agenda tonight is 1687.07 for Lindell J. Bro, located on the south side of Olston Bird Road, approximately 90 feet west of Ruffton Martinez Road. They here tonight? Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Hi.
Go ahead, state your name with the microphone, please.
Lydell Bro.
Go ahead, sir.
I have asthma real bad, so it's hard for me to talk.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I got poison on my job in 05. I'm real sick. Mr. O'Neill knows me very well before I got poisoned because I sold a piece of property to Joseph and Sharon Knapp, and he done the deal. And since then, I've lost 90 pounds. I have an identical twin brother that is the only one that can live by me or with. For about a year now, he was in Tennessee. He's a truck driver, and his wife's in the last year of medical school. She's going to be a psychiatrist doctor. So he's been staying in our house for almost a year now to take care of me. And I'm asking to put a mobile home on my property, which I have 1.6 acres. And then I have another son who will be a doctor. He has one more year left. And then when he's able to come back out of school, he's going to move into the trailer and take care of me. And my twin brother and his wife are going to relocate here. And God knows we need more doctors here now. And I'm asking to put a 16 by 80 trailer. I have plenty of property. I'm going to buy the trailer from Joseph Knapp's, who's fixing to build a new house on the property that I sold them. And Mr. O'Neill drew up the paperwork for it. I guess he remembers.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. What I'm asking for, I need help. I can't take care of myself no more. I got a stack of medical information. I don't know if you want to see it or...
Well, that's not necessary, sir.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay.
Do we have any discussion?
Move to open public hearing.
Second.
Public hearing now open. Anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of or against this gentleman's request? Close public hearing, please.
Second.
Public hearing is now closed. Any further discussion? Motion?
I would move to accept as requested.
Ma'am, I'll have one more thing, please. And I'm buying Mr. Knapp's trailer. And Mr. Knapp's building a new house. I don't know what to do. He told me, Joseph Knapp's told me, his trailer's only been on that land. I sold him a little over a year. I would like to have the septic pumped out and picked up and replanted in my yard so I don't have to spend the $3,000.
Well,
That's not something we would do.
There's something I cannot, or this board cannot approach.
I just need to know. I need to know what direction to go to ask for this. Maybe Mr. O'Neill can help me.
Yeah.
Department of Health. Okay.
Yeah, but we can grant you a variance for that particular trailer.
Yes, sir.
But we can't determine
Okay.
whether or not.
I just don't know.
You just have to go to the Department of Public Health.
Okay, my wife will remember that. She's
Sir?
back there. My wife is back there. She'll remember that.
Okay, that'll work. Okay, we got a motion. Go ahead with
I
your
move
motion.
that we approve this variance as requested due to the hardship of medical.
Okay. Ms. Kathy Desdeer has brought a motion to approve as written, and a second by Mr. Howard Dalton. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carried. Your variance is granted, sir.
Okay, so what do I need to do next now?
See Miss June. See Miss June.
Come to the office tomorrow. Thank y'all very much for your
You're
time.
welcome, sir.
Good to see you, Mr. O'Neill.
Okay.
Back on, we moved
For
this
the
all the
record,
way
my
to the
client
end.
was Mr. Joseph
That's
Just
1686.07, Lot Y, 1B of Ashland Industrial Park. Did you ever get an answer, sir?
Yes, I did, and he said 50 is what he needs, and also 50 feet is what he's looking for. And also, he told me that he talked to DHH at Check Method, and he agreed that he has no objection to it too.
Who's that?
Check Method at DHH. He said he talked to him, and he's got approval or verbal approval that he has no objection to it. The 50 foot.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. Any statements, comments? I closed public hearing on this. All I did is just reopen.
I think there's better alternatives than to, plug ourselves into a piece of property that only has 50 feet. When you talking about a storage building and possibly big trucks and things getting in there, I think there's a better alternative.
I agree, and this property, as shown on this plat, can easily be, both properties, Y1A and Y1B, can easily meet the 100-foot requirement. So I see no reason this should go down to 50 foot.
There's no hardship there.
No hardship.
I make a motion that we deny the the variance as written, based on the fact that there is enough land there that they could have that, and there's been no hardship proven. And I think it would restrict too much access to the back piece of property by going down to 50 feet.
I'll second that also with the consideration that I think this would show grant special privilege that is not proven.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Bryce Cox brought a motion to deny, and Mr. Howard Dalton seconded the motion. Any opposition? No opposition. Motion carries. Variance is denied. Before we go to adjourn, there's one thing that I got an ethics question by Mr. Howard Dalton that needs to be addressed.
Mr. Parrington, knowing that we have very tight ethics laws and constrictions, which in some cases that we're appointed is even tighter than what's put to the public. I've got some radio tickets for a radio coming up this weekend out at LSU that are mine, and I was going to offer them to members of the panel here, but I want just to get your opinion before I did that.
I don't think there's a problem with that.
No, I'm serious.
No, I don't think there's a
these
problem.
tickets, and I want to give them out, but I didn't want to run afoul of anybody.
As long as we don't all go to the same one, the same show.
As long as we don't have a quorum.
As long as we don't have a quorum at the same.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
I move we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Wait,
We also have a
somebody's
second.
coming
Any opposition? No opposition? Hereby, we are adjourned.
All right, now that we're off the air, guys.
You're not yet.
No.
Oh, well, that's right.
I'm thinking. You're almost off the air.